Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I have part 3 today of the Psalm 147 Bible journaling little mini series I was doing, which basically just means I was showing this psalm in 3 different versions of my Bible. So I'll just recap here. Let's see, we're going to do that one second. I'm grabbing my illustrating Bible off to the side here. This was the first one, or maybe the second one I did. I can't remember which order now, but he covers the sky with clouds. He supplies the earth with rain and makes grass grow on the hills. See if we can squeeze that all in frame there. So that was fun. I did a little process video on that, and my son Drew, who I jokingly call my technical consultant, helped me do the like the music and speed it up. So he's actually teaching me how to do all these things that are not, well, second nature to him and not to me. And then my next, or I think this may have been the first, I can't remember. Anyway, there's part 1, 2, and today we're doing 3. This was the other one. He counts them and names them. This is in reference to God knowing the number of the stars. Or here in verse 4, he determines the number of the stars. He gives to all of them their names. So I just kind of summarized that in a briefer way or shorter amount of words so I could fit them more easily on the page. I did go back and outline my letters with white. So in the process video, I had not done that. I had just done the sparkle pen, highlighting my black Sharpie lettering. And then I thought it needed a little more pop. So I went back and outlined it with white. And I actually liked that better. So the purpley black pen wasn't showing up enough against the purple background. So I did that, and that was kind of fun. But with this, I don't know, you try to fix a letter, and then you go over into your other color, and then you go back and fix that color, and then, it just goes back and forth. So I finally had to just leave it well enough alone. And then so today, the last thing, I wasn't originally going to do this part of the chapter, but I was rereading it today, and I came to this end, and it says, this is verse 18 of Psalm 147. He sends out his word and melts them. It's talking about the ice crystals. He makes his wind blow and the waters flow. And I just love that little phrase, the winds blow and the waters flow. So ahead of time, I just did this little swirly thing to represent wind. This was with a Faber-Castell Pit Artist pen with the brush tip and the sky blue. I think this is a really nice blue for journaling. It's soft. You can read the lettering through it. And then down here I did my these sparkle pens, which I really like. I was just noticing it has more information, bold K91, so whatever that means, but I guess a bold tip. Sparkle Pot, this is a Pentel brand pen. These are so fun for adding sparkle, and they just glide on in a nice thick type gel, but with a sparkly element to it. So down here I did water. These are supposed to be ocean waves, if you can't tell. And I bent up my edge when I was carrying it over here. I'll just have to play around with that. It'll be okay, I think. And then here I took the same sky blue to fill in the ocean. So probably what I will do is, we can just do this real quick. I just want to add a little more dimension to my waves there. Very amateurish, but that's okay. Like I like to say, it's all about the journey and having fun, expressing yourself in a artistic manner on paper, in your Bible, or with a Bible journaling card. So what I wanted to do, obviously in a compact Bible like this, you can't fit in all of the elements of a verse maybe that you would want to, unless you do a card insert as a tip in or just something you want to place in your Bible. So what I want to do now is just summarize that with a couple words. I want to do well, I'll have to rephrase it a little bit, but wind blow, waters flow. So The water's flow works okay, but if you just kind of chop in the middle of that, it doesn't quite make sense to me. So we will do his winds blow and waters flow or something like that. So yes, I will get my inks ready and be right back. Okay, so here we are. I actually have these right here. So I chose the Salty Ocean and the Peacock Feathers. Those are really the only, not really only, they are the only blues that I have in these inks. So I think I'll do the Salty Ocean one for the water flowing and the Peacock Blue, which won't be quite right, but it'll be good enough, for the wind blowing. So I just want to, I'm trying to think of how I want to phrase this. He makes his wind blow and the waters flow. So I think I'll just do the wind blows, the water flows. So this is kind of maybe something that I will speed up here as I select the letters out of here and get them ready and stamp them on the page, and then I will be back. So there we go. Obviously, I wasn't extremely neat or level with the stamping, and I do have some of that overlap where you get the ink on the letters, but honestly, I don't mind that. It kind of like it there because it seems like it, you know, the water flows, there's movement with the waves, so the letters are kind of doing that. But if I would have thought that through, I could have actually tried to deliberately go more curvy, and that might have looked a little bit better. And then here, of course, I didn't really space it out just visually before starting, so I could have come over further with moved wind over and fit the word blows in there, but you know, it all works out. And in my way of looking at it, it's good enough, because the idea was, again, just to commemorate or point out, feature that section of the psalm, of the verses there. So he makes the winds blow and the waters flow. And I just think that's neat. So what I want to do is probably get my gel pen, the sparkly clear one, and highlight the wind there a little bit. I forgot to bring that out with me. It's in the other room. This is just my little area where I do my videos. But other than that, that's it. I will date stamp it. I do have that in front of me. So, again, checking my watch. So, the 16th. My daughter gave me this date stamp a few years ago for Mother's Day, and I just have loved using it. It's super handy, and it works in all kinds of Bibles, or books, journals and what have you. So I'm going to kind of do a little bit of the Salted Ocean, and I'm going to do a little bit of the peacock blue, peacock feathers. I like these little sample sizes. I've been able to try a lot of colors and kind of pick out my favorites. There are definitely a few I would not rebuy that I felt were too faint, but I definitely have come across several that I would love to get again. But man, there's so many of these neat inks. It's hard to narrow it down. Yeah, it looks like it got on there. So I was just hoping to kind of blend the blues there. And I think the best place to put the date stamp would be on the side. I'm just going to tip it a little bit so I can see where the edge is and not go into the sides of the pages too much. Perfect. Yay. That does not always work for me because I don't get the ink on, or I don't put it on the page right. So I chose the little words, wow, God. Those are some of the side selections that you have, because I just love the imagery in so many of the Psalms talking about nature and the majesty of creation. So the wind blows, the water flows. Lots of blues there. I'll go back and sparkle it up, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this little mini journaling series. Really, I just kind of thought, since I love this psalm so much, it would be fun to do aspects of it in each of my current journaling Bibles. So hope you're enjoying Bible journaling, or that you might give it a try, and feel free to just express yourself. Don't worry about it being fancy. Obviously, that doesn't happen all the time. So have fun with it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. One quick thing, I forgot. I took this out of my little bookmark stash, and I wanted to stick that in there because part of the fun with this little garden Bible idea, as people have called this sort of setup, is seeing it grow and just having a lot of fun having things popping out on the top or on the side or wherever that kind of mark each selection that you have journaled. This is a pretty big paper clip for such a little Bible, but I liked how the blues matched. I'm always a little bit afraid of the pages tearing with a lot of weight on it, but I do want to mark that, and I like that this is sort of a oceany blue. So what I think I might do is just take a little bit of this turquoise ribbon with the polka dots. Been using this a lot lately. Seems to go with a lot of the papers and stuff that I have right now. So I'm just going to rip that so it's not as thick. And I'm going to hold down the paper clip on the opposite side in the top margin so it doesn't interfere with the writing. But if I did it over here, it would block the stamping that I just did. So I think that that works. And I'll keep that in there for now. It is a little bit bulky for that. But again, I think it'll work. And you can see there, isn't that fun? It's just starting to get a life of its own. Okay. Again, that is all this time. Thanks.